Hi everyone, it's Trishna. Welcome to another weekly collective reading. So what I've been feeling in the energy lately is this question that's being put out there, which is a question of how can I incorporate spirituality into my life in a new way or maybe a more practical way. So maybe there are some of you out there who are looking to try out a new process or figure some more things out when it comes to spirituality through a practice. So that's what we're going to talk about today. So really when it comes down to working with spirituality and when it comes to working with spirituality in a way that affects the physical realm, at the end of the day, there are really two ways to go about it. And then everything else that we do is an embellishment on top of those two main structures or those two main ways. So the first main way, and then of course finding like the balance on the spectrum between those two ways. So the first way is to look out into your world and see, what is going on in my life? What's going on in my world? How do I want to incorporate spirituality into my life? So it might be, hey, I would like to have better outcomes when it comes to work, or I would like to have better outcomes when it comes to my relationships with friends, or maybe I would like to call in my life partner. And so the first way that we can work with this is we can say, okay, that's the thing that I want to work with. And what do I want to achieve? So we're focusing on the physical realm first and saying, okay, I would like to meet my life partner. Or, okay, I'm having this issue with this friend and I would like to resolve that particular issue. Or, okay, I'm dealing with this project at work and it's challenging me in these particular ways that I'm not really able to overcome. So we identify what those physical realm needs are, and then we add in the spiritual. So that's when we might pull a card for, okay, what guidance do I need in order to bring in my life partner? What guidance do I need in order to resolve this? Or what's going on with my friend that I need to know that will help us together resolve this? Or what's going on with this project? Or what skills do I need in order to really be able to overcome these challenges and succeed? So that is working with the physical realm and then adding in a spiritual component, whether that is meditating on these answers, whether that is pulling a card for these answers, whatever form that you want to work with regarding that, whether that is connecting to your guides around this or working with a deity specific to career or love or friendship and getting their guidance. The other way is to do the opposite, where we first work with a guide that we are drawn to, or the universe, or a higher self, or cards, and we say, hey, I'm going to keep this an open book here. What guidance do I need in my life right now? Or what areas of my life should I start incorporating spirituality? So we're starting with the spiritual aspect first in this case, and allowing it to dictate, okay, we want to focus on love right now, or we want to focus on career, or we want to focus on love and friendship, and love in this particular way, and friendship in this particular way. And then once you get those topics, then you can say, okay, so we want to focus on love. What guidance do you have for me regarding love? And then it might say something like, hey, we think that you need to date a few more partners before we connect you with your life partner, because we feel like you still are working on trust. And if you were to meet your life partner right now, you would not trust them. And so you would lose your shot at your life partner. Obviously, you never actually lose your shot, but it would make that kind of relationship tumultuous instead of as beautiful as you want it to be. So we want you to meet up with a few more partners between now and then to help you develop that trust and to be around partners that are very trustworthy so that they can train you into that belief and overwrite any old memories or old beliefs that you have. And then you will be able to meet up with your life partner. And of course, along the way, each one of those partners will be served by you as well, right? It's not like the universe is going to give you partners to use and not give them something in return as well. So everybody wins. So in that case, you are now using spirituality to then dictate what you do in the physical realm. Whereas the first way is you look at the physical realm and use that to dictate what kinds of questions you ask and where you want to focus your spiritual practice into. So either way works, but everybody is different. So everybody's going to gravitate a little more to one side than the other side. And of course, we're all unique, we're all evolving, we're always growing, and we go through our own cycles in life. So there's going to be times in our own life where we gravitate towards the first way, And maybe that's our way and we rock it for 3 years. And then all of a sudden we go through a new cycle and we're gravitating towards the other way, and that's working better for us. So all of this is fluid. All of this can be changed because spirituality is fluid. And we do like to put it into containers, which is the physical realm, because we are in the physical realm. And that's the beauty of being here in the physical realm, is when we're up in the ethers and we're just purely spiritual beings, we're just kind of flowing and, there's not really direction. But when we come into physical form, now we have these containers or these desires, these focus points that now we channel our spiritual energy towards. So that is why it can be important. That's why we are in a physical form, is because it allows us to channel physical energy into a direction and move it forward. So either way is fine, and yeah, so work with it however you are called to and try out different ways. And of course, there will be blends of how you do it, but ultimately that's the way. Now, everything else, like I said, is an embellishment upon that. Spirit to physical form or physical form to spirit form, everything else builds upon that. So for some people, it might be that you pull the cards like we're saying, but for others of you, it might be like, I want to work on these things in my life. This is a physical first, and I'm going to incorporate the spiritual by manifesting or doing a spell or something like that. Or doing the spiritual way first is like, oh, I'm going to allow the universe to guide me into what I want and use that and take actions based off of spirit first. So it's spirit into the physical. So hopefully that helps guide you, because there's not really one size fits all. And if you keep looking for other ways to do this through other people, it can be helpful. It gives us experience. It gives us things to try out. But ultimately, you're not really ever going to be satisfied fully until you figure out your own way. And when you understand these two main structures, that gives you that framework that you can try out, but then you can fill it in with whatever really fits for you, depending on where you are in your life and just kind of what your personality is like. Because we are all very, very unique. So what works for somebody is not going to work for you. Somebody who maybe hasn't had spirituality challenged in their life over and over and over again, or hasn't been told that magic isn't real over and over and over again, is going to find it easier to do a spell and believe that. And if you're just somebody who's grown up in a different way, bridging that gap is going to be difficult for you. So working with your mind in a more scientific or logical fashion is probably going to work better for you, at least for now. And then as you kind of evolve on your path, you might be able to do other things because now you've bridged that belief gap. But just kind of where you are, your background, how your mind works, all of that is honored. And there is a spiritual practice for every single person, because you are honored exactly as you are, given the memories and experiences that you have grown up with. All of that is honored, and there is something for everybody. So it's good to try out different processes, but ultimately, if you're really trying to figure out what your process is, I would break it down into these two different ways. Test out each way, and you can embellish it however you like, and hopefully that will allow you to really figure out what your own unique recipe is. So we didn't end up getting to the cards, and I see my battery is running low, so I'm going to stop this here. Thank you so much for watching. I hope that this served you. Hope this gave you some direction. If you would like to work with me one-on-one for personal readings, you can find me in my Etsy shop at psychicts.etsy.com. You can also find me at my website at www.spiritualactivationacademy.com for many other options of ways to work with me. The links are in the description box below, and I will catch you in the next one.